Welcome to another edition of Flex Rental Solutions how-to videos. Today we're going to be going over the date and time tab in the project element area and the inheritance setting. We had a couple emails come through support early this week about this setting, so we thought we'd do a quick webinar about it to make sure that we can document this for everybody. The scenario is we have projects and relationships in our system. We have what we call a quote. Typically from there they will generate a pull sheet, which is the equipment list version of the quote of what the warehouse is responsible for pulling. As they scan those items out, that is typically what is generated in what we call a manifest, which is the inventory items that are going out to the end customer. Each of these areas have dates and times associated with them, and we have what we call the start and end date. Now, what happens with these start and end date fields as they go further down the process? And the question was, what happens if I have a truck that is coming back late, and how do I notify the system that what was supposed to come back at 8 o'clock this morning that is now showing conflicts because it is not returned on time, and we now have a new return date? What date am I supposed to be updating to make that get back in time? And all that has to do with the date and time settings. So let's review where we get to these items. Under Projects, Project Elements, we're going to start off first in the quote area. So if we open up our quote, there is a date and a time area. And the top two fields are the two that we're concerned with right now. There is auto-populate child dates and dates inherited. So our relationship from our quote on this system is set to not receive the dates when it is created from a parent. Typically, for most people, they would have auto-populate set to yes. So if there is a parent event folder and we add a child quote, it should receive those dates and times from the parent event folder. With the dates inherit set to no, what that means is we can then later modify these dates directly from the quote, meaning it is not kept 100% in sync. So if we were to generate a pull sheet, so we're going to go to Projects, Project Elements, Pull Sheet, and look at the date and time settings for those. In this system, it's going to auto-populate them and inherit them. And what that means is that those dates, if we wanted to change the dates on the pull sheet, you would not change those dates on the pull sheet because those dates are actually inherited upstream from the quote. You would update those numbers from the quote. Now, every customer is set up a little bit differently. By default, we have these dates inherited set to no, but we wanted to show you the difference between that. And again, this works all the way down from pull sheet to manifest also. So, test dates, we'll say the job is going out on Wednesday and coming back on Thursday. So these are the dates from the quote. There is no parent, so they can set them as they will. Now what we're going to do here is we are going to generate a pull sheet, and what we'll notice is with the pull sheet set to dates inherited, it will go through and you will see a different icon for our start and end dates. So I'm going to confirm this quote. And for fun, let's just put one item on there. Put a mixer. Okay. And now we will generate the pull sheet. So with dates inherited, there is a small icon change in the dates area. Normally you would see a calendar which would allow you to modify those fields. With the dates inherited set to yes, what it's trying to tell you is the reason why you can't modify this is because they are inherited coming from upstream, meaning the quotes. So if we go back to the quote here and change the dates and change this to the 28th, if we return now to the pull sheet, these are kept in sync. The return date is automatically updated. So we're not saying there's a right way and a wrong way. There's just the way you configure your system and the way that makes sense for you. We've got many people who will want to keep the quote in the pull sheet and the manifest similar, but not completely in sync. This is set up so that they are kept in sync. If we were to return to the pull sheet, go to the dates and time and say, we want to auto-populate, meaning fill in those dates at the time it's created, but afterwards don't keep them in sync because I may want to update the pull sheet independently of the quote. This dates inherited set to no will allow you to make those changes directly to the pull sheet instead of having to return to the quote to modify that. So now with that setting changed, you'll notice that the icon with the arrow pointing down is removed and we are able to modify these at will. So we could then extend the pull sheet to the 29th and keep that different from the quote. Now, the pull sheet has the same settings. If we go to Project, Project Elements, and Manifest, and go to the dates and times, we have this one basically set to just inherit it directly from the pull sheet. So the manifest would have that same icon with the arrow pointing down, meaning it is received from the pull sheet. If we want to update the manifest dates independently of the pull sheet, you would hit dates inherited set to no and hit save changes. So to review, auto-populate can receive the dates at the time it's created. Dates inherited is whether it should stay in sync from the parent no matter what. If you have any questions or need some consulting on how you would like to set up your system for your particular usage, please contact support at fluxrentalsolutions.com. Thanks.